Hi everyone. This is the first video that we're going to do since we've heard about the unfortunate cancellation of the Eurovision Song Contest. And as of the 25th of March, we've got 10 artists confirmed for Eurovision 2021. And I'm with Julian and Costa to just discuss who's been already confirmed. So let's get on with it.
Okay, so in alphabetical order, the 10 artists/acts we have for 2021 are Efendi for Azerbaijan, Hooverphonic for Belgium, Victoria for Bulgaria, Tornike Kipiani for Georgia, Stefania for Greece, Alene for Israel, Jeangu Macrooy for the Netherlands, Blas Cantó for Spain, Gjon's Tears for Switzerland, and Gjon for Ukraine. Now, as we can see, the names skew heavily towards internal selections, but we also have some artists that kind of reveal a change of format for next year, which is quite exciting for some countries. We're going to go ahead and start in alphabetical order with Efendi for Azerbaijan, one of the internally selected artists. This doesn't really come as a surprise, but I think Cleopatra kind of came late in the game and was a massive fan favorite. So I think a lot of people are very happy. Judging by the response to our article that we posted last week, a lot of people are very happy about this. How do we feel?
Well, I think Azerbaijan will just do what they do every year. They now just have more time to prepare it. They will probably just buy another song by well-known songwriters and give it to Efendi. And if they do it this year, they do it again next year. So I'm expecting something just like Cleopatra this year. So no surprises, I think, for 2021 from Azerbaijan.
I'm still at that mindset, like that what if Cleopatra, if the contest had gone on, and I just wonder how they would have staged. But then again, the track itself is really amazing, so I'm guessing they're gonna send something up tempo. Well, try and send something up tempo next year. But that wouldn't surprise me, and I think that would be welcomed by Eurovision fans.
I think it's an interesting case. I think there's a few artists in this list who are kind of, I wasn't surprised to see them selected again, but it's unfortunate because their song would have done really well in the contest. And I think Cleopatra is one of them. I think it really did surge up people's list as soon as it came out. And it was just a burst of energy, a burst of fun. I was so looking forward to seeing how it was going to be staged. And I think we've kind of missed out. And I think they may struggle to produce something that has the same magic, because it's not only very polished, but it's very fun, and a lot of Azeri entries have been very fun. So I'm hoping that they are able to recreate a similar vibe with the song, just be really energetic, fun, danceable. But regardless, Cleopatra is still a Eurovision song. It always will be, and I will still continue to stream it because it's funny on Spotify. So yeah, I'm very optimistic about her as an artist and what she can bring, and I'm happy that they selected her. But then again, there was no reason not to, because they didn't. It would be a waste if they hadn't. Then we move on to kind of a different situation with Hooverphonic, which I was very surprised by. Let's go in reverse. So Tim, what did you think when you heard this news?
I mean, because it's an unprecedented situation, so I'm really happy that they get their chance, which is what personally I think what all broadcasters should be doing. But we all know that not all of them are going to do it. But with Hooverphonic, I think it's kind of like gives them a reset button, because I know Release Me has had a bit of a mixed reception. I'm one of those that like it, but I know that but when I look at my timeline on Twitter, not everyone likes it. So it can give them something fresh, maybe go back to basics. We won't know, but I know that they're pleased about it. So I'm just now curious to see what they're going to bring for us.
I also was kind of surprised to see them confirmed so early, because Hooverphonic seemed so over it already. But I was kind of expecting them to be like, oh, thank God we don't actually have to do it. And yeah, I think it's hard for them to be worse than Release Me. So the only way is up, and I hope they can deliver this time.
Yeah, I think Release Me was Hooverphonic on autopilot. I thought it was fine. I liked it. It actually grew on me a little bit, but the entire season I was like, this is not going to qualify. So I think actually they're quite lucky that this whole situation happened, I mean, obviously the pandemic wasn't lucky for anyone, but the fact they get a redo is good news because I think they knew that the song wasn't good enough and it wasn't the best of their capabilities, and we know they can produce better. And I think the writer, they've already come out and said that they're looking to do something a bit more positive and up tempo, which I think is exciting because I really like their more up tempo stuff, especially romantic. If they can recreate that song with different lyrics, that would be my ideal. I think that would be a really fantastic entry and an upgrade. So whereas Azerbaijan, I'm concerned they won't be able to meet that standard, I think it's impossible for Belgium not to surpass their standard from last year. I agree with you, Julian. And I think we return back to the Azeri predicament with the next one, which is Bulgaria, who had the bookies' favourite to win at the point of cancellation, and were the only broadcaster that I know of, or that I saw that was in the article I did about the reactions, that were vocally like, we're not happy. And I think that's justified. Just to kind of go straight in there, I think Tears Getting Sober had a fantastic reaction, and I think they might struggle to recreate that because they now have the most anticipated song instantly, because you had a song that could have won and you were saying the same artist, likely the same team behind it. So they have to either recreate the song or do something completely different that is equally as amazing. So I'm cautiously optimistic but also quite concerned about what Victoria's going to send, and I think the team will be in a similar position, but I'm very hopeful that they will produce something that she loves as much, because I know that song meant a lot to her. I hope they might just need to go back to the drawing board and not go back to one of the songs that they had workshopped. So we'll see.
I was also thinking about Borislav Milanov's involvement next year, because just today I saw his small little rant on Facebook where he complained about the decision of the reference group and that all the hard work of the producers and songwriters is basically worth nothing now. So I'm wondering if he even wants to participate next year, and so far Bulgaria has depended a lot on his work, on Symphonic's work. So let's see if they get back with him. Let's see if they take old work that has already been done for, like, that didn't make it this year, or if they even write something completely new. But I agree with you that they will definitely have to live up to expectations, because they were the favorites when the cancellation happened.
For me, it's actually in unison, same predicament, because when it was announced, she was obviously the bookie's fave, and I think she was high up on everyone. Well, nearly everyone I saw on social media, she was high up on everyone's personal rankings. So for me, whether or not she's just going to keep going with what she does, and miraculously she's able to give us that same spark magic that she did when she released Tears Getting Sober, then yes, I'm up for that. But whether or not everyone would use this reset button to, you know what, we'll go on to contrast, I'm not sure. But either way, Victoria, we already know that Victoria is promising, so I'm really curious to see how she's going to turn this around.
True, we've got a while to figure out, probably about a year to next March. So I'm sitting tight for that one. Regardless, we can still stream the song and give Borislav Milanov his coins, his streaming money. Okay, we move on to Georgia. This is a bit more of a surprise because Tornike obviously won Georgian Idol, which was a selection, and they've already eradicated the main prize of that competition by selecting him. But I'm not mad at it. Tim, what do you think?
You know what? If I mean, I know this is controversial, but if it's anything to avoid having to sit through Georgian Idol, as much as I love the singers, you know, some of them, like, you know, anything to reduce like the national selection was just like, you know what, is it really me worth it, like watching this for like 12 weeks? I mean, the fact is that they can save money on, like, you know, doing, well, I know they're worried, but like, you know, they can use the money towards like the staging a bit, I guess. And personally, I wasn't a fan of the song, so great pops for having a redo.
Also, him being internally selected means that he has more time for a song. So he basically had what, like 2 months max for his song to do it. And like his song, I thought it was okay, but nothing groundbreaking. So maybe with a little bit more time on his hands and a little bit more knowledge of how everything works, he might be able to pull something a little bit more competitive than Take Me As I Am out of his sleeve. So I'm excited for what he's going to do with a little bit more time on his hands.
Yeah, I think he has a great voice, and I think there's potential there. I think elements of Take Me As I Am, especially the verses, had a lot of promise. And I really liked the song. I thought it was really experimental and interesting. And I think it would have been really dynamic on stage. And then we move on to another internally selected artist. Again, came as very little surprise. Stefania for Greece. Supergirl was received fairly well, I would say, and I liked it. I think Cleopatra kind of overshadowed it, and so did Chains on You for me personally in terms of that kind of category of song. But I think Stefania, she's gonna be a year older, and I think going from 17 to 18 is a massive step in an artist's direction. And I think I am expecting something a bit more mature from Greece next year, because they go from a minor to an adult competitor. And I think that's a big switch that's flipped. I don't think they should suddenly go on full on like provocative, because she's now 18. But I think you can get away with something a bit less kiddie when you have an older artist. I think they should keep the ethnic elements and go for another bop. But I think that'll be another one to look forward to.
For Supergirl, it didn't do a lot for me. It was like this kind of, as you said, very childlike ethnic pop song, but it was nothing new. The lyrics were very uninspired, and I think she can only go up. There's not much room downwards, I think, and with a little bit more experience, now that she's turning 18, I think she can definitely pull more. And as Costa said, I hope for something up-tempo that's maybe even a little bit more Greek. So I really hope for a Greek ethno banger, and I really hope that's what they're going for in 2021.
Okay, then for me, yay Grace. I'm a very big fan of Supergirl, and also yay for keeping, making these artists that have actually participated in Junior and actually come back and actually try it for the real thing. So big fan of Supergirl, yes. I'm guessing likely that the Dream Team is going to work on this again. I wouldn't be surprised, but we slandered, like, the fans, like, sometimes have like a love-hate relationship with them, but you know what? This is one of those instances where they got it right. So let's just hope that if they do work on this, that this is not butchered.
Okay, next we are moving on to one of my personal favorites, Eden Alene from Israel. I'm so glad they selected her again. Again, this was similar to Georgia because they had a separate selection for the artist, and it was the unpronounceable national final they have, which is basically Israeli Idol. I'm interested to see if they do a similar approach and they give her another 4 songs, or if they just basically get Doran to make a copy of Feka Libby with like Ethiopian elements to it and the Israeli elements, and just kind of recreate the magic. Personally, I'm hoping for something a bit cleaner, like Rakata from the selection, just something a bit more of a polished pop song. I'm really excited about this entry. I think Israel could potentially come with another contender to win. now that they have this fantastic artist, and the reception from the songs they already sent, so they're in a very strong position, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my turn. Yeah. I watched the actual news clip where they told her that, oh yeah, that you're going to Eurovision 2021, and can I just say that I was actually in awe of her reaction, because it looked, if you look at her, like if you do that like to other, you can actually see how much it means to them. So I'm really happy that Eden gets her chance. As for the selection itself, I'm kind of looking forward to how they'll select the track, and I hope they keep the selection method the way they did.
And it's also, I think it's a very fortunate thing for them. Like, of course, they would rather have her this year in Rotterdam, but they wanted to change their selection method anyways for 2021. And they said like, okay, we will change it, but we don't have a format yet. So they're basically given this opportunity now with Eden. So I think they will do the same thing this year with Eden, with 4 songs, maybe less, maybe more, but they will keep it, I think, mostly the same. But I also think they might even have more capabilities, because they don't have the Rising Star format, so more money to put in staging or songs or the other shows. So I think Israel can really come through with another strong song for Eden.
Then we move on to what we presume will be the host entry. The Netherlands have selected Jeangu again. It seemed like when it was the second announcement, I think Blas was first, and then Jeangu was confirmed straight away, like within minutes of the cancellation, which I was really glad to see. And this is going in the same boat as Belgium for me. I think Grow was nice, but it took too long to get going. And I think it would have done as poorly as other host entries have done recently. I think he can do better. I'm excited to see what they can do with another year of work.
I thought Grow was a very strong entry. I really liked it because it didn't fit into the classical Eurovision song norm. And I said it in a previous video, but I think the Netherlands would have done very well with the juries. And I think if he goes for this emotional song with gospel vibes again, that can really get him out of that cursed bottom 5 or bottom 6 where usually the host country lands. But I think we've seen it with his previous music. He isn't someone who is confined to one kind of music, so I don't really know what he's going to do. I'm hoping for another gospel-influenced song, but let's see what happens.
For me, I was actually a big fan of Grow, and it was kind of like, it gave me that calm after the storm 2.0 effect as to like the genre. Like, for me, I would say that if I would like to see him do something within that same type of like music the way he did it this year, but then I agree with Julian. I think it needs to be more soulful, and also for the fact that maybe more impactful, because like Costa said, it took about like 2 minutes to go somewhere.
We move on to Spain. Blas Cantó. I'm really glad that he's back, because I think he has a lot of potential to do really well and bring Spain a really good result. However, Universo was a whole lot of nothing, and I think it was a really lame song to pick. Out of 50 songs that you could have had, there was definitely songs that were better. The fact that there was not even that much hype from the Spanish fandom around that song, we told you everything you need to know about how well that song would have done. And I think it was a really safe and boring choice for an entry, especially if you're Big Five. I have no sympathy for or like patience for a boring Big Five song. There's no space for it. I disagree with the Big Five in general being a thing. So if you're gonna have a space in the final, you better bring something interesting, even if that's Electro Velvet. Give me something that's at least notable. So I'm a big fan of Complicado, his album, and I'm hoping for something that's a bit more akin to the up tempos on that album. But even the mid tempos on that album are far better than Universo was. So I'm hopeful that he would have seen the lukewarm reception to that track and produced an equally strong visual with a song that's actually interesting and good.
Okay, for me, I'm kind of have to disagree with you that because I really like Universo. Surprise, surprise, tell me about it. What I really liked about it is that he went out of his comfort zone for this, like just a tiny bit, like something more. Because I know he's usually more up-tempo, but he's a very versatile singer. So give him anything, he will like make something great out of it, and he's a perfectionist. So I think Universal was perfect for him, and I respect him for that. For me, I'd like to see something up-tempo, but at the end of the day, he's the one that's got to be on that stage to sing to like about 180, 200 million people. So either whatever type of tempo of song he gets and whatever type of genre, I am full in support for what he does, because I mean, I'm a big fan of his music.
Yeah, I agree with Costa on this one. Universo was a whole lot of nothing. And the forced high note at the end didn't make things any better. And I just hope that he listened to the feedback he got from the Spanish as well as the international fans. Because he has the vocal capabilities and the money and the support in Spain to get a good song, and he just has to write it or make the right connections and listen to the critiques. Then Spain has a chance, but if they go with another safe choice like Universo again, Spain can say hello to the bottom 5 in 2021.
Then on to the penultimate artist, which is another one I'm really excited about, Switzerland with Gjon's Tears. I think I would put Switzerland in the same camp as Bulgaria, as a country that's really came out very unfortunately from this whole situation, because they were going to do super well. And I'd say Iceland and Lithuania also in that camp of countries that don't usually do well, that were really on top, like almost inevitably going to get top 10 position, which would have been a massive deal for them. And I'm really upset for them, especially with Répondez-moi. That was a really special song, and I think they're gonna have Victoria are gonna have a really hard time recreating that magic. But I'm open to anything he does. I love his voice, and I really like him. He comes off super well in everything I've seen of him, and I'm excited about this opportunity because I think Switzerland could really come and win, and I would love to see that for them. So I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, I'm also very happy about him returning, because he seemed to genuinely like Eurovision, and he interacted with the fans a lot, and he showed so much passion for it. And I think this will also motivate him to create something magical for 2021. And I think with the help of the Swiss team, they will probably do the same as last year with the 2 juries, just like Germany does. And they will probably find him another good song. So if Switzerland keeps it up, Gjon's Tears keeps it up, I think Switzerland can pull off another strong entry for 2021.
For me, yeah, another great choice, and really applauding these broadcasters for just saying, you know what, we're gonna give you your chance. As for the track, same with like Blas, what I said earlier on, because he took part in The Voice, so we've seen what his vocal capabilities and how well he can sing. So I'm not surprised that we might be expecting another ballad, but I would not mind that purely because of the fact that with the way his ballads are and the fact that he can, in the voice that he can make it on its own, and on here that he really welcomed it, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how he's going to top that. But then again, same predicament with Bulgaria. I don't know how he can top this, but if he does, I'd applaud him really well.
And now we move on to our final artist for this video, the final confirmed artist. That means that the broadcaster and the artist have now confirmed that they'll be going, at least as far as we know, to Eurovision 2021. Is my number one from the 2020 season, which is Ukraine with Go A, which I honestly yelped when I saw this announced, because I did not expect it. I thought, God, we're going to have to go through Vidbeer again. My favorite selection, potentially, but it's such a drama every time. It's so much fuss, and Go A went through so much in the very short season it was to get to Eurovision, and then it just didn't happen. And I was really concerned I'd just go for a selection, but I think the Ukrainian broadcaster has seen an opportunity to save some money, and we're like, yep, let's do it. And what we've ended up with is a band who have gone through a lot and are going to get their chance to shine, hopefully. I mean, Ukraine, it's never straightforward with them, is it? Mm-hmm. But Solove was such a special song to me. It really was my favorite national final song, and usually my favorite national final song does not win, so it did out of nowhere. I love all their music. I am a big fan of that album. I think they're going to give us something as dynamic. It's definitely going to be in Ukrainian, I feel, because they were very keen to be Ukrainian and represent themselves, and now they have a year to craft a song that is going to potentially be a bit more competitive, because I think Solove, I don't think it would have qualified, if I'm honest, from semi-1. I think it was a telemovation kind of situation. It's not quite accessible enough, but I loved it, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy that they've done this, and hopefully some other countries will also just stick with their artists for next year instead of going through another selection.
For me, all I'm going to say is I really like the fact that Go Away are very welcoming on feedback. So I know that, like you said, like whenever Vidbeer happened, it's like some sort of drama. It's either like, fans are not, like when Solove got released, like I think some fans were not happy with it, with like the revamp or something. But for me, I really like the fact that they're taking in feedback, and they do take this very seriously, because of course, when I see it in the most like the Eastern European countries, they see this as a really, really big deal. So the fact that they can, breathe and find something that represents them and, represents Ukraine, I'm quite pleased about it. And the fact that, Ukraine is saving money, another plus. So that means hopefully they're not going to go anywhere. And let's just say that Vidbeer did not go to waste, because we've got an artist at least at the end. So welcoming decision, Ukraine, and hope you stick around.
Yeah, I'm also very happy about Go Away. I liked Solove a lot, and contrary to others, I think the revamp made it even stronger. I like that it brought out this techno vibe a little bit more, the more electro vibe, and I disagree with Costa that it wouldn't have qualified, because I think songs like this go through very easily. I mean, it's basically a better version of Tulia, and they almost managed to qualify last year. So I think Solove would have sailed through, and with a little bit more time on their hands, less pressure, I think they can really create magic in a year. So I have high expectations for them, and I really hope they bring something strong to the table for Ukraine, if Ukraine doesn't withdraw or anything drama-like happens, as we are used to from Ukraine.
Yeah, it's going to be a long 14 months for sure, regardless. In the coming days, weeks, months, we should be hearing whether songs are going to go whether artists are going to go forward or not. We already have a few broadcasters, so Finland, Portugal, Estonia, Sweden already confirming that they're going to go ahead with their national finals as planned anyway. So that kind of puts out the artists they selected, which is unfortunate. But it's going to be we never had a season like it. So the 2021 season is going to be very interesting regardless. So yeah, make sure you follow ESCXTRA on all social media platforms at ESCXTRA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with the updates. We will be posting the news as soon as it breaks regarding national selections and artists being confirmed and any other news that EBU are giving us in the next few weeks and months. And we'll be looking at how we can fill the void that Eurovision has left this year. So thank you, Tim and Julian, and we will see you soon.
Bye.